Hi everyone, this is Shauna Bukaroff from Twisted Figures, and I live here in San Diego, California, and it's pretty hot where I live right now. I don't live near the beach, like some might think, but just wanted to introduce myself and answer a few questions. Okay, my art journey started in 2006, and I had decided to leave the workforce. I was in the mortgage business, and I decided to stay home with my son, who was about 2.5, 3 years old at the time, and I was bored, to be honest with you, and I felt like I needed some sort of outlet. And I used to be a scrapbooker, so I thought, I'll go on some scrapbooking sites and maybe get back into that again, but I was never really that into it. So I discovered some mixed media work and some artists on there through some scrapbookers, and I decided that I was going to give it a try. I was going to pick up a pencil and see if I could do that. And the artist that really inspired me to try was Emily Martin from the Black Apple. And I just loved her portraits of girls, and so I was like, I just want to try to do that. So I did. I picked up a pencil and gave it a shot, and it looked a little cartoony and a little bit like, something from Scooby-Doo, but but I was happy with it, and I thought, hey, I could do this. And so I just learned and studied and did everything I could to get better and practice, and here I am today. One piece of advice I'd like to give to other artists is try really hard. I know it's hard, but something I learned really early on was is to try to just please yourself with your art. And it's fun to put your art on out there in the computer land and get praises and things like that. I mean, that makes you feel good and everything. But if you come from a place where you're actually doing it for yourself and not for anyone else, I think that's when you're going to get the most reward from doing it. And not everybody's going to like what you do. That's just, art is subjective, and the more you realize that, and the more you just make art for yourself and make yourself happy with it, then I think not only are you going to be happier, but I think that your art is going to be more sincere and real. And that's how I feel. That's my advice. Some of the recurring themes in my work are probably having to do, well, obviously the female form. That I love painting girls. I used to draw when I was a kid, and I used to love to draw albums. Well, I'm saying how old I am, pretty much. Back when I was a teenager, we only had albums. But anyway, one of the very first things I ever drew, and I was really proud of, that's another question, was the cover of the Duran Duran album, Rio. And if you are old like me, and you know what that is, you'll know that it's a picture of a woman. It's an actual painting of a woman. And this just occurred to me recently that was like one of the first things I ever really drew was a woman, and here I am, drawing women all the time. I think another recurring theme in my work has to do with my faith. I'm a Christian, and I like to put quotes from the Bible in my work, things like that. And also I'm really drawn to the struggle we have as our sinful selves, and the pleasing side of ourselves to God. And so I'm really into contrast, and whether that be I really like grunge and grime and all that, but then I also like to put a pretty face on there, and to me it's all contrast between good and evil, and the good and evil in ourselves, and that seems to come out a lot in my work. So I don't know what else to say other than I've been asked that question before, and I really see it. Like, it really, I'm very drawn to that. I like I like very, very like abstract-y, kind of painterly faces, but I'm also drawn to smooth lines and a little bit of illustration too. So to me, it's all contrast. So contrast is very, very, you know, appealing to me, and it's definitely a recurring work and theme in my work. Do I have a signature set of colors? You know, I thought about that question, and so I kind of went back to my art journal to see if there any reoccurring colors that I always seem to go to, and I guess, yeah, there is. I think I tend to you know, go towards blue a lot. And so here's some examples. Mostly I do work in my art journal because when I first started out, I had a bunch of canvases everywhere. And, you know, some of the stuff sold or whatever, but most of it didn't, and I didn't have room for it. So I decided, hey, you know, art journal. Then I'll have a book for my son that he can take with him and whatever. So, but recently I did an art show in San Diego, and so I all of a sudden had to come up with all these canvases. So I happen to have a few here, and blue is a big theme. Here's one. This one's called Star Child, and of course blue and red too. Blue and red together. I'm really drawn to turquoise right now. Turquoise, white, and blue are just like my go-to colors. Here we go again. Blue and red. This is another one that I have hanging on my walls right now because it didn't sell at my art show. But that's fine. I like it on my walls too. And then this one's one of my favorites. I love painting red hair. That's one of my favorite things to do. And then there's like light blue and stuff in there. And so yeah, I guess I would have to say blue. And also, what's gonna fall? In my art journal, I just did this one the other day. And she's obviously turquoise, red, and white, and I'm getting ready to redo my studio. Well, it's actually my daughter, who's 20 years old this month, moved out, and so her room is going to be my art studio, and so I'm going to do it turquoise, blue, and white. So I mean turquoise, red, and white. So obviously those are the colors I'm drawn to. There's a little bit of blue in this one that I just did. Let me see that, but yeah, I guess blue. I like blue, like all shades of it. What hangs on my walls, and do I collect art from other artists? Right now, I have the stuff that didn't sell at my art show on my walls right now, which I really enjoy. And really, I collect tons of prints from other artists because I've been collecting them for years because, you know, someday I was going to have my own art studio instead of this little nook outside of my kitchen that I have right here. So I've been collecting a lot of prints from other artists so that I can have a little artist wall. But right now, the only other artist that I have on my wall is Emily Martin, because like I said before, she is the first artist to ever, mixed media artist to ever inspire me. You know, she's the one that inspired me to paint in the first place. So I do have one of her prints, and I'll show you. That is Emily Martin. Oops. Let me get it over there for you. I can't take it off the wall because I double stick taped it. But there we go. And up. Can I go any further? There we go. Ugh, sorry. There she is. Love her work. She's great. And that is it. Let me go back down over here. This is my messy art studio, by the way. Or art studio wall, pretty much, is what I have. So anyway. All right, well, I think those are all the questions that I was going to answer today, and I hope you enjoy. I hope you get to know me a little bit more. I don't really like being in front of the camera too much, other than, you know, my hands working on pieces. But so anyway, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping by.